Was the freshman of the year before that. 10.3 points, 2.8 rebounds per contest. Was second in the SEC during the regular season in three-pointers made. Now has 86 of those on the season. At a forward, Amelia Hassett, 6'4" senior from New South Wales, Australia. Transferred from Eastern Florida State Junior College in her second year at Kentucky. 10.4 points, 5.4 rebounds. Was sixth in the SEC. Now has 46 blocks in the season. Tremendous three-point shooter. Was 10th in the SEC in three-point shooting and 5th in three-pointers made. She now has 87 of those on the season, passing Asia Boone, who was second in the league. Remember, she had 6 on the first day of this tournament. At forward, number 7, Tiani Key, 6'5" senior from Cary, North Carolina, in her second season in Lexington after transferring from North Carolina. 11.2 points, 7.2 rebounds per contest. And in the middle, number 13, Clara Strack, 6'5" junior from Buffalo, New York, in her second year in Lexington after transferring with Coach Brooks from Virginia Tech. First team All-SEC this year, named to the All-Defensive team as well. 11th in the SEC in scoring, now averaging 17.3 points per game. Third in rebounding with 10.2 boards. His second in block shots. She had 24 points on Sunday against the Gamecocks, coming off tying her career high with 33 points in their win yesterday over Georgia. Wildcats in their road blue uniforms, white numbers. They'll be moving from right to left as we look at them from across the official scorers table. We are on the floor here at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. For Coach Don Staley's Gamecocks, the SEC regular season champs for the 10th time, looking for their 10th SEC tournament championship. 29-2 overall, 15-1 in the SEC. It's the usual lineup. Point guard, number 25, Raven Johnson, 5'8", fifth-year senior from Atlanta, out of Westlake High School, where she was a McDonald's High School All-American. Named the Defensive Player of the Year this year in the SEC. Second-team All-SEC honors, averaging 10 points, 4.2 rebounds, sixth in the SEC with 5.4 assists per game. Another guard, 00, Tanaya Latson, 5'8", senior from Miami, transferred from Florida State, former McDonald's High School All-American. In her first season with the Gamecocks this year, earned second-team All-SEC honors, 14.6 points, 3 rebounds, 3.5 assists per contest. Another guard, number 5, Tessa Johnson, 6'1", junior from Albertville, Minnesota, out of St. Michael Albertville High School, where she was a McDonald's High School All-American. Earned second-team All-SEC honors this year as well. 13.1 points per game, 3.4 rebounds per contest. At a forward, number 8, Joyce Edwards, 6'3", sophomore from Camden, South Carolina, out of Camden High School, where she was a McDonald's High School All-American. Earned first-team All-SEC honors this year for the second year in a row. Tied for third in the SEC in scoring at the end of the regular season at 19.8 points per game. Also has 6.3 rebounds per contest. And in the middle, number 11, Medina Okot, 6'6", senior from Kenya, in her first season with the Gamecocks after transferring from Mississippi State. Earned second-team All-SEC honors this year for the Gamecocks as well, averaging 14 points. Led the SEC during the regular season with 10.9 rebounds per contest and was 5th in blocked shots. Gamecocks in their traditional home white uniforms, garnet numbers trimmed in black, garnet and black trim down the side of the uniform. They will be moving from left to right. Your officials for today's game, Gina Cross, Fatu Sissoko Stevens, and Katie Lukanich. Packed house on their feet here, as we said, at Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville. Day 3 of the tournament, first game for the Gamecocks as the top 4 seeds get the double bye. Third game in 3 days for the Wildcats. A reminder, parents, it's never too late or too early to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs, because if you're not talking to them, someone else is. Get conversation starters at openconversationsc.com. Gamecocks break their huddle across the way, as does Kentucky, a little bit off to our right. And Medina Okot will come to the jump circle after the traditional high fives with assistant coach Khadijah Sessions. Gamecocks have won 3 SEC tournaments overall and 9 of the last 11. Their last tournament loss here in 2023, where they lost in the championship game on a buzzer beater by these Kentucky Wildcats. Waiting for TV to give us permission to play. Let's light this candle. Okot to the jump circle, key to the jump circle for Kentucky. Lead official to the jump circle as they make sure everyone is standing where they're supposed to be. Ball's in the air. Tip is controlled by the Gamecocks, moving left to right. We're underway here at the SEC tournament. Gamecocks working around the perimeter, left side. Tessa Johnson comes around a screen from Joyce Edwards on the pick and roll to Joyce. Drives the baseline. She was too far underneath the basket, and her shot goes awry, or interior pass goes awry. Kentucky comes out of there with her. Joyce just didn't keep her head up, and she dribbled too far into the backboard. We go for the steal, don't get it. Here's Boone up top for the Wildcats. Gamecocks in their traditional man-to-man. Dribbling to her left, passes left. Raven Johnson knocks it out of bounds. It'll stay with the Wildcats, the defensive player of the year with an early play there. Wildcats will bring it in just to our left here on the sideline. Hassett, dangerous three-point shooter, hit 6 in the opening round here. She triggers it in. We're back underway. Shot clock down to 10. Trying to drive left side is Morgan, puts it up and in. Blew past Raven Johnson. Tony Morgan with the bucket. That'll start the scoring for the Wildcats. I think Raven was expecting some help. It didn't come. And blew by her for an uncontested layup. Tonight, Latson pulls up from the free throw line, left it short. Rebound to Kentucky. Remember, Latson did not practice this week due to illness. See how much energy she has today. Minute gone by, Kentucky leading 2-0. They zip it out right side to Boone. Boone drives in the lane. Ball knocked out of her hands. They're going to get a reach-in foul on the Gamecocks. And that'll send Kentucky to the free throw line as Joyce Edwards has whistled for her first foul. The sophomore from Camden. Not a good start for Carolina. 0 for 2 on their first 2 possessions. Gave up a layup. Now you give up 2 free throws. Here's Asia Boone, a good free throw shooter, is the junior from San Diego. 79% of the year. Hadn't been there a lot, 22 out of 28. And she misses the first one. Boone played her first 2 years at Liberty University. The second team All-Conference USA there last year. Freshman of the year before. And she hits 1 out of 2 free throws. It's 3-0 Kentucky. Gamecocks with the basketball. Raven Johnson will get it across the timeline. Dribbling to her left. Man-to-man defense for the Wildcats. Right side to Joyce Edwards. Looking inside, but they've got it bottled up. Joyce keeps it on the floor. Shot clock at 15. Hands it off to Raven. Raven kick it out left side in the far corner to Tessa. Shot clock down to 10. Now Edwards inside, trying to create. Spins to her left, back to her right. First shot up short, no good, but she was fouled and will go to the line. Everything coming up short right now for the Gamecocks. You'd think they are the ones playing the third game in 3 days, as opposed to Kentucky, who's doing that. But the Gamecocks did get the foul. First foul on the Wildcats. We'll send Joyce Edwards to the free throw line. Joyce, first team All-SEC for the second year in a row. Foul was on Key, her first. And Joyce got every bit of iron, and it falls through the hoop. And the Gamecocks are on the board. It's 3-1. 8:35 to play in the opening quarter. One more time for Joyce. Held to single digits against the Wildcats last Sunday for the first time this year. And she misses the second one. Key with the rebound for the Wildcats. They lead at 3-1. Not a good offensive start for Carolina. 1 point on 3 possessions. Here comes Kentucky the other way. Gamecocks in the man-to-man. Morgan to the free throw line. Kicks it out left side. Bounce pass to Strack on the near baseline, and she walked with it. Gamecocks will have it on the turnover. Wildcats don't turn it over much. Only average about 12.5 per game. And the Gamecocks will have it with a chance to tie or take the lead with 8:20 to play in the opening quarter, trailing 3-1. Raven Johnson will bring it up. Gets it across left side, dribbling towards the Kentucky bench. Zips it underneath the Medina Okot. Medina too far into the basket, has her shot blocked by Strack, but she gets her own rebound. Strack, one of the tops in the SEC at doing that. Now trying to drive is Tessa. Strack takes her on the switch. Tessa for 3. It's well off the mark. Air ball and a rebound to Kentucky. Here come the Wildcats the other way. Trying to drive is Morgan underneath the basket. Dipsy-do, no good. Rebound Medina Okot, and the Gamecocks have it. She went too far into the hoop. Here's Edwards the other way in transition. She will lay it up and in, and we're tied. Joyce Edwards in transition ties it up at 3 apiece. She has all 3 of the Carolina points. Seen that a lot of times here in the early going, but both teams having players dribble too far underneath the basket. Gamecocks in the man-to-man as the Wildcats run their weave. Here's Strack left side. Up top to Key. Hands it back to Boone. Boone working on Latson, trying to drive. Steps back, 15-footer, well short. Rebound Medina Okot, and the Gamecocks have it. She almost went out of bounds on the baseline. She'll hand it off to Raven. Tied at 3, 7:15 to play in the opening quarter. Raven around a screen to her right. Passes to Latson. Latson on the dribble with the left hand. Double team, needs some help. As she picks up the dribble, feeds it underside to Medina, and she will lay it up and in, and the Gamecocks have their first lead, 5-3. Good ball movement there. 7 minutes to play, and the Gamecocks have their first lead at 5-3. Medina cutting towards the basket, and Latson finds her. They feed it to Strack on the near baseline, trying to drive on Joyce Edwards. Picks up the dribble, kicks it out, stolen away by Tessa Johnson. Tessa ahead of the pack, one girl to beat. She blows the layup. Rebound underneath, and safe from going out of bounds by Tania Ladson as she got the rebound and threw it off one of the Wildcats. It'll be Carolina ball. Tessa Johnson was racing down at 100 miles an hour and simply blew the layup. I think she was feeling the pressure of the Wildcats on her heels, but she blew the bunny. Fortunately, the Gamecocks do keep the possession, still leading 5-3. Will trigger it in baseline left side. Raven to do the honors. Gets it back from Medina in the corner. Long jumper. swirls around and in, and the Gamecocks lead 7-3. That one took about 3 revolutions around the cylinder and went down for Raven Johnson, her first points. And the Gamecocks lead 7-3. Gamecocks on a 7-0 run. Here come the Wildcats. Pull up from the free throw line for Morgan's an air ball. Rebound Joyce Edwards, and the Gamecocks have it. Joyce leading the break. Drives into the lane. Dumps it down low to Ladson, who fumbled it out of bounds, but it went off one of the Wildcats. It'll be Carolina ball. Gamecocks got a little too quick for their own doing there. Gamecocks in front, 7-3, 6:15 to play in the opening quarter. We'll bring it in again, baseline left side. We'll get our first sub into the game as Miriam Dowda checks in, the 6'4 senior from Bentonville, Arkansas. Well, didn't have time to get her in. Have to wait for the next dead ball. Up top to Raven. Works it right side to Ladson. Ladson around the dribble to her left, into the lane, cut off on the low block, trying to spin to her right, feeds Joyce on the other side, puts it off the window for 2 more, and the Gamecocks lead 9-3. It's a 9-0 run. 4 minutes gone by in the opening quarter. Across the timeline, Morgan passes left to Strack. She hit 5 3-pointers yesterday. You got to guard her on the perimeter. They feed it down low, knocked away by Tessa Johnson into the baseline, anticipating that backdoor cut by Amelia Hassett. Well scouted. So here comes Dowda into the game. Also checking in is Maddie Mouse McDaniel, the sophomore from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, averaging 4.6 points per game. Edwards and Ladson go out. Kentucky ball, they'll bring it in baseline right side, get it into Strack on the far side. Now back up top it comes Hassett. Quick trigger on the 3, and she buries it, and that ends that 9-0 run. Hassett hits her 88th three-pointer of the season, and the Gamecock lead is trimmed to 3 at 9-6. 5:30 to play in the opening quarter. Hassett had 6 of those in their first round game on Wednesday. Work it left side to Tessa. Far side, tries to go across the baseline. Reverse layup is good. What a finish by Tessa for her first points. 5:15 to play. It's 11-6 Gamecocks here in the first quarter. That was a tough finish on the reverse layup across the baseline. Up top is Morgan, around a screen from Strack. Feeds it out into the far corner. Obi trying to drive against Medina Okot. She'll try the reverse layup and missed it. Okot with the rebound. Gets it ahead to Raven. Tips it ahead to Maddie McDaniel. Maddie hops up in the lane, rolls it up and in, and the Gamecocks lead 13-6. Gamecocks getting the transition offense going there, and they crowd in a frenzy. 13-6 Carolina with 4:45 to play in the opening quarter. Coach Staley said they didn't get out in transition last weekend in Lexington. They've been doing that so far here in the first quarter. Up top it comes to Obi. Pass it left to Strack. 18-footer from the left side is good. She is so smooth with the mid-range. It's 13-8 as Strack gets her first points. 4.5 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Raven dribbling across the far baseline, trying to back her way in. Spins to her left. Off-balance shot won't go. Rebound caroms out to the Wildcats. Lead is just 5. Here comes Kentucky the other way. They get it across the timeline. Morgan around a screen to her right. Back up top to Strack. She comes around a screen again. Works it right side to Obi. Driving across the baseline. Knocked out of her hands by Medina. Gamecocks come out of there with it. Tessa Johnson racing down the length of the floor. Blows the layup. Maddie McDaniel with the follow-up, and she's fouled. And that'll send us to a timeout. 3:58 to play in the first quarter. South Carolina leading Kentucky here 13-8. And we've got a timeout on the floor. Hey, here Hall of Fame coach Frank Beamer, father of USC's own Shane Beamer, discussed football, family, and Southern spirit on Wednesday, March 18th at 6 o'clock at the Coger Center. And this University of South Carolina event is leading the way with 5 points. The Wildcats led early 3-0, then the Gamecocks went on a 9-0 run to take a 9-3 lead, led by 7 on a bucket from Maddie McDaniel at 13-6 before Carla Stractos hit a bucket for the Wildcats to make it 13-8. Gamecocks in white, Kentucky in blue here. Maddie McDaniel on the floor along with Raven Johnson, Tessa Johnson, Joyce Edwards, and Miriam Dowda. Gamecocks will be at the free throw line as play resumes. It'll be Mouse, Maddie McDaniel at the stripe. The sophomore from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. 74% in the year, 42 out of 57. Mouse first free throw is good. Nothing but net for her first point. It's at 14-8. Or I'm sorry, for her first free throw. She's got 3 now. Second free throw rolls off the rim, no good. So 1 out of 2 again. Gamecocks lead 14-8. Kentucky with the basketball. Across the timeline, Morgan. Wildcats moving right to left. Morgan drives to the free throw line. Kicks it out right side to Asia Boone. Back up top it comes. Shot clock at 15. Morgan drives halfway down the lane. Kicks it out far corner. Boone for 3. Got it. Asia Boone, second in the SEC in three-pointers made during the regular season, hits her 87th of the year, and it's 14-11. Wildcats fourth in the SEC in three-pointers per game, averaging just under 9 per contest. They hit 10 in their opening round here 2 days ago. 2-3 zone by the Wildcats as they try to take away the inside game. Saw some of this on Sunday. Shot clock already at 13. Left side, Maddie McDaniel. She'll spot up for three. Missed it short. Rebound, Tayana Key for the Wildcats. Chance to make it tight or make it a one-point game here. 14-11 Carolina. Up top of it is Key, working against Dowda. Drives in the lane, spins to her right, loops it up and in. And just like that, the lead is down to 1 at 14-13. Gamecocks need a bucket here. They get it across quickly. Again, 2-3 zone, trying to take away the inside game. Up top it comes Joyce Edwards, looking for a cutter. Backs up now, gets it off to Raven. Raven will spot up for three. Bang! Got it. Three-pointer, Raven Johnson, her 31st of the year. And the Gamecocks lead 17-13. Needed that with 2:35 to play in the quarter. Here come the Wildcats the other way. Morgan around a screen to her left, drives into the lane, puts it off the window, no good. Late whistle and a foul. They'll put that on Tessa Johnson. Tessa will collect her first, second on the Gamecocks, and the Wildcats will go to the line for a pair here. They'll get subs in as Amelia Hassett and Carla Strack will check back in, or Clara Strack, I should say, will check back in. Boone and Obi out. We'll go to our bench. Medina Okot wants to check in, as does Agat McKeer for the first time, the 6'1 freshman from Ontario. Dowda and Tessa go out. 2 free throws upcoming here for the Wildcats. It's Tony Morgan, the senior from Tallahassee. 3 years at Georgia Tech. This is her first year at Kentucky. Good free throw shooter at 73%. Hits the first one to make it 17-14. Morgan 14 points yesterday in their win over Georgia. Missed the second free throw. Edwards with the rebound, and the Gamecocks have it. 3-point lead with 2:25 to play in the quarter. McKeer, far corner, doesn't pull the trigger on the three. Back up top it comes Raven Johnson. Kentucky sitting back in that 2-3 zone again. Raven hit a three a moment ago. Passes up top to McKeer. Shot clock at 13. Agat dribbling left. Passes to Joyce Edwards. Shot clock under 10 now. Raven top of the circle. Got to do something with it. Gets a screen from Medina. Can't do much with it. 4 seconds to shoot it. Raven knifing her way in. Off balance shot. Got it. Raven off the dribble. Makes it 19-14. Tough finish there for Raven Johnson. And the Gamecocks lead back up to 5. That didn't look like it was going anywhere. 1:45 to play in the quarter. Kentucky runs their weave up top. Dribbling left is Morgan. Feed it up top to Carroll. Now to Morgan left side. Looking inside for Strack. Back to the free throw line to Key. The big post player takes a 15-footer. Back rimmed it no good. Hit the top of the backboard. Strack got the rebound on the carom. Her fade away from the baseline is good, and you hate to see that. Gamecocks were in position to get the rebound, but it took a funny bounce. The lead is down to 3 at 19-16. Strack is so good with that fadeaway, you can't defend it. 2-3 zone again employed by the Wildcats. Gamecocks trying to work out of the half-court set here. Maddie splits a couple of defenders, drives into the lane. Hook shot won't go down. Medina with the rebound underneath, puts it up in traffic, missed it, but she was fouled and will go to the line. Now you got to make the free throws. Gamecocks have not done a good job of that today. Tania Ladson will check back in. It looks like she's not sure who to check in for. She'll come in for Raven. So Medina Okot at the free throw line. The senior from Kenya, only a 69% foul shooter. First free throw is good, makes it 20-16. Second free throw upcoming. Second one rolls off the rim, no good, and Gamecocks keep hitting just 1 out of 2. Just a 4-point lead with a minute to play in the opening quarter here. Kentucky with the basketball. Boone across the timeline, guarded by Maddie in the man-to-man. Works it right side to Key. Ball knocked away, stolen away by Maddie McDaniel. Gamecocks have it. Quickly ahead, Tania Ladson to Joyce Edwards, cutting across the baseline. Reverse layup is good. What a finish, and it's 22-16. The reversal. Gamecocks with a 6-point lead, 35 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Gamecocks getting out in transition here today. Here's Boone up top. Works it left side, gets it back, bounce pass to Strack down low. Spins, fadeaway jumper, missed it short, rebound to Dina, and the Gamecocks have it. They can work for the final shot if that's their choosing. 20 seconds to play in the opening quarter. McKeer, far side, 3-ball away, off the rim, no good. Rebound, Joyce Edwards on the other side. 12 seconds to play in the quarter. Will work for the final shot. Up top to Maddie McDaniel. Maddie looks to Coach Staley. 5 seconds to play. Maddie trying to drive into the lane. It opens 4, floats it up, no good. And that's how the first quarter will end. 10 minutes in the book. South Carolina leading Kentucky here 22-16. The Gamecocks are the best when it comes to basketball, and Terminex is the best when it comes to pest control. Headquartered right here in South Carolina, Terminex has been trusted for 75 years to keep your homes and businesses pest-free. We couldn't have done it without fans like you, so thank you. Call 1-800-TERMINEX to schedule your service, and go Gamecocks. See if we can get that going in just a little bit. They've had all kinds of problems with Wi-Fi here over the years. Gamecocks take the floor with Maddie McDaniel, Tania Ladson, Joyce Edwards, Agat McKeer, Medina Okat. Gamecocks in white, Kentucky in blue. We've got to let them know the stats feed isn't working here. Kentucky ball to start the second quarter. Gamecocks shot 47% in that first quarter, 9 out of 19. Wildcats 6 out of 12 for 50%. Entry pass knocked away. Strack recovers the Wildcats, feeds it inside to Key, trying to back in against Medina Okat. Gets it out to Boone. For long jumper, won't go down. They said it was a 3, but she was well inside the arc. Gamecocks get the rebound. Edwards in transition, drives, shoots, doesn't score, but she was fouled underneath by one of the Wildcats, and she'll go to the line. Gamecocks doing a great job of pushing tempo to get out in transition. Carolina's led by Joyce Edwards and Raven Johnson with 7 apiece. And we'll send the Gamecocks to the free throw line. First foul of the second quarter, obviously. It'll be Edwards at the free throw line. Just 1 out of 2 today. Gamecocks only 3 out of 6 from the free throw line. Waiting for the Wildcats to switch places there on the key. We'll get this thing going. First free throw from Joyce is good, and that'll start the scoring. 8 points for Joyce Edwards. Makes it 23-16, matching our largest lead of 7 points. One more time for Joyce. Got them both. First team All-SEC gives us our largest lead of 8. And that'll start the second quarter just underway. Wildcats moving right to left. Feed it right side to Aisha Boone. Back to Morgan up top, trying to drive. Cut off on the left elbow. Back up top to Key. Now Morgan top of the circle. Tries to drive the lane left side. Cut off back up top to Strack. Open look at a 3. Back rimmed it no good. And they get the rebound, but then Joyce Edwards rips it away from her, and the Gamecocks have it. Edwards will get it across the timeline to McKeer. Little up fake. Drives the baseline. Dumps it down low to Medina Okat. And Big Mama finishes. And the Gamecocks have their first double-digit lead at 26-16. 9:07 to play in the second quarter. Big Mama with the bucket. Medina Okat with 5 points. Here come the Wildcats. Around a screen comes Morgan right side. Zips it left side to Hassett. Can't pull the trigger on the 3. Now to Strack with 13 to shoot it. Down low to Key. Big girl against Big Mama. Shot blocked by Big Mama, and she gets the rebound. Medina Okat with the block on the board. Gamecocks have it, leading by 10. Ahead to McKeer near corner. Can't pull the trigger. Still has it on the dribble. Feeds Joyce underneath the basket. Power step. Puts it off the window. No good. Rebound caroms out to the Wildcats. And once again, Joyce found herself too far underneath the basket. Couldn't get a good look. Here comes Kentucky the other way. Still 26-16 Carolina. 8:25 to play in the second quarter. Morgan dribbling to her right. Now back to her left around a screen. Kicks it out to Hassett left side. And she went to the floor. Just tripped over her own feet. It'll be a travel, and the Gamecocks come out of there with it. Raven Johnson back in. She'll pick up Maddie McDaniel. Gamecocks trying to build on a 10-point lead. Currently on a 7-0 run. Raven will bring it up once we inbound it. Kentucky got a couple of subs as well. And we're back underway. Raven across the timeline, passes right to Agat McKeer. McKeer tries to feed the high post, knocks out of the hands of Okat. McKeer recovers, dribbling left. Now Ladson, left side. Shot clock at 13 to Joyce Edwards at the free throw line. Joyce trying to drive into the lane. Awkward, goes underneath the Medina Okat, who's too far into the basket, has her shot blocked by Strack. They're going to call that a held ball. That was a quick whistle on that. Gamecocks will have it on the alternating possession arrow. And we'll go to our bench. Checking in for the first time today, Ali Tournevis, the freshman from France, averaging just over 4 points per game. She'll pick up Joyce Edwards. Gamecocks will have it, but just 4.6 on the shot clock. 7:53 to play in the second quarter. Gamecocks trying to build on a 10-point lead. Raven will bring it in, baseline right side. Raven accepts the basketball, looking inside, being guarded by Morgan. Gets it into Latson corner, puts it on the floor, feeds it to Tornabese, pulls up jumper, no good, off the rim, and a rebound to the Wildcats. Had to hurry that shot to avoid the violation. Here come the Wildcats the other way. Ball knocked free, and Medina Okot comes out of there with it. Another turnover by the Wildcats. Ahead to Raven. Raven across the timeline, up top to Big Mama. Thinks about it, she'll spot up for three. Bang! Medina Okot with her 10th three-pointer of the year. And the Gamecocks lead 29-16 on a 10-0 run. And this place is going bananas as Kenny Brooks, the head coach of the Wildcats, will burn a timeout to stop the bleeding. Hey, parents, it's never too late or too early to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs, because if you're not talking to them, someone else is. Get conversation starters at openconversationsc.com. This women's basketball postseason radio broadcast, proudly sponsored by South Carolina Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities. We're back in a moment for more South Carolina women's basketball on the Gamecock Sports Network from Learfield. It's I believe it's probably a sellout. I don't see an empty seat here, upper deck and lower deck. A lot of Gamecock fans, as you might expect, but a lot of other fans from other schools are here. You can see the smattering of school colors, which is fun to see. First of 4 games today, day 3 of the tournament. On the floor for the Gamecocks, Tania Ladson, Joyce Edwards, Raven Johnson, Agat McKeer, and Allie Tornabese. Kentucky ball as play resumes after the timeout. Wildcats in their road blue, Gamecocks in home whites. Kentucky has it moving right to left. We're back underway. Across the timeline with it is Morgan. Looks back to Coach Brooks for the play. Gamecocks showing a 2-3 zone here. They feed it inside to Strack. Kick it out. Ball knocked free by McKeer, but the Wildcats recover. Shot clock at 15. Back up top, Morgan. Around the zone. High post is Strack. Strack on the dribble. Gets her man in the air. Feeds it far corner. Shot clock under 10. 3 ball for Hassett. Right wing is good. Amelia Hassett with her second three-pointer. Gives her 89 of those on the year, and that ends that run by the Gamecocks, that 10-0 run, and cuts Carolina's lead down to 10 at 29-19. Again, Hassett hits 6 of those here on Wednesday. Tania Ladson dribbling right, driving into the lane, cut off in the low block, and they're going to get her for a travel. So a turnover there gives the Wildcats a chance to cut it to single digits. Second turnover by the Gamecocks today. They'll get Asia Boone back in. She'll pick up Josie Gilvin, the senior from Louisville. The Kentucky ball after that big 3 they hit a moment ago. Their third of the game. And this is something Kentucky can do. They got 2 of the top 5 three-point makers in the SEC. Morgan dribbling to her right. Raven picks her up in the man-to-man. To Strack on the baseline far side. Trying to create. Joyce collapses on her. Around the screen now comes Morgan right side into the far corner. Trying to drive the baseline on Joyce. And Joyce has intercepted the pass. Take it away from her. Goes underneath to Ladson and threw it away. Threw it off the backboard. Ladson was wide open underneath the basket, and Joyce threw it off the backboard. Here come the Wildcats. Strack, baseline jumper right side. Won't go down, and we tipped it out of bounds. Oh, there were 2 Gamecocks right there with McKeer and Tornabese, and they didn't realize they were both on the same team and basically fought each other for the ball, and it went out of bounds. Big swing there. You miss a layup on the other end, and you miss a chance to get an easy rebound. Ladson out, Tessa Johnson back in. Gamecocks lead is still 10. And going to get an offensive foul on the screen by Asia Boone, trying to free up the shooter Hassett. And there'll be another turnover and a foul on the Wildcats. Gamecocks will have it, leading by 10 with 6:14 to play in the second quarter. Raven will bring it up. Kentucky matching up man-to-man this trip. McKeer right side. Gamecocks not on the same page offensively. Tornabese top of the circle. Passes right to Raven. Shot clock at 15. Up top, Joyce Edwards. She'll take an 18-footer. No good. Tornabese fighting for the rebound, but they're going to get her for over the back. Oh, that's kind of a soft call there, I got to tell you. For what they've allowed today, Tornabese, I thought, used her size to get the rebound, but didn't appear to touch the defender for Kentucky, but they got her for the foul anyway. Coach Staley, I think, making that same argument. 5:50 to play in the second. Gamecocks lead is 10. Wildcats with the basketball. Really soft call there. Here's Morgan driving in the lane. Cut off. Feeds it up top to Obi. Feeds it down low to Strack on the far baseline. Strack on the dribble now to the free throw line. Back onto the baseline, floats it off the window for two, and that's a heck of a finish there. 5-0 run by the Wildcats. It's 29-21 Gamecocks. Approaching the midpoint of the second quarter. Joyce Edwards drives in the lane, bumped, no foul, misses the shot. Rebound, Turnaby's no good, but she's fouled and will go to the line. Should have been foul when Joyce went up, but we get the foul when Tornaby's got the rebound, and she'll be at the line for Carolina to try to extend this 8-point lead. See who it's on. We're going to get Maddie McDaniel in at the next opportunity. Tornaby's, the freshman, hadn't been there much. 5 out of 9 from the line. Hits the first one there for her first postseason point. And she'll get another crack at it here. Foul was on Hassett, her first. Tornaby's missed the second one, and once again, the Gamecocks 1 out of 2 from the stripe. That's been the story of the day. Here come the Wildcats the other way. Still 30-21 Gamecocks. Kentucky with the basketball. Morgan up top to Hassett. Feeds it right side to Boone. Good look at a three. Missed it short. Raven with the rebound, and the Gamecocks have it. It's 2-on-3. Raven kicks it out to Tessa left side for three. Bang! Got it. Three-pointer. Tessa Johnson, her 74th of the year. And the Gamecocks lead 33-21. Big three there for Tessa. 4:56 to play in the second quarter. Here comes Morgan the other way, driving in the lane on Raven. Kicks it out to Obi left side. Back up top to Morgan. Morgan around a screen to her right. Looking for the pick and roll to Strack. Gets it to Obi instead, left side. She'll try a three. It's short. Rebound Joyce Edwards, and the Gamecocks have it. Leading by a dozen with 4.5 minutes to play in the second quarter here in Greenville. Work it left side to Tessa. Tessa around a screen from Joyce. Pulls up from 18 feet. Went halfway down and popped out, but she was fouled and will go to the line. Thought we were going to get an and one. That one swirled around the rim all the way and then popped out. That'll send the Gamecocks to the line. We'll get Maddie McDaniel in for Agat McKeer. Medina Okot back in. She'll pick up Joyce Edwards. Gamecocks have not shot the free throws well today, just 6 out of 10. Came into the game third in the SEC at 73%, or I should say 8th in the SEC at 73%, but only 6 out of 10 today. Tessa at the line, hits the first one where she's 83% on the year coming in. And the Gamecocks lead 34-21. Tessa just hit that three a moment ago. She's now got 6 points. Hits them both. That's more like it. Gamecocks with a 14-point lead with 4:26 to play in the second quarter. Kentucky basketball. Morgan across the timeline. Passes right to Boone. Dangerous three-point shooter, one of the best in the league. Feeds it down low. Stolen away by Joyce Edwards. Edwards just stepped into the passing lane, and the Gamecocks have it. On another miscue by the Wildcats. 9th turnover of the game, or 10th turnover of the game already, but for Kentucky. 4 minutes to play in the second. Tessa passes left to Maddie McDaniel. Looking inside, but it's bottled up. Tessa wants three up top. Bang! Got it again. Another three-pointer for Tessa Johnson, her second of the game. She's got 10 points, and it's 38-21. Carolina. Tessa on a heater, 8 straight points for her. And the Gamecocks have their largest lead of 17. 3:40 to play in the second quarter. Here's Morgan up top. Up top to Hassett, a dangerous three-point shooter herself. Dribbling right. Feeds it to Tiana Key. 12 to shoot it from Morgan left side. Rainbow three won't go down. Rebound tips out to Maddie McDaniel, and the Gamecocks have it. Maddie pushing tempo. Gets it to Tessa left side. She'll explode across the baseline. Lays it up and in. Tessa Johnson with 10 straight points, and the Gamecocks lead 40-21. 3:16 to play in the second quarter, and the Gamecocks on a bender here. Here come the Wildcats the other way. Morgan driving into the lane. Layup won't go down. Medina Okot with the rebound. The Gamecocks want to run. Outlet to Maddie. Flips it left side to Raven. Baseline jumper short. Rebound Strack for the Wildcats. 40-21. Gamecocks with a 19-point lead on an 11-0 run here. Morgan passes right corner to Key. Back to Morgan right wing. 2:45 to play in the second. Maddie McDaniel picks up Morgan as she dribbles back to the top of the circle. Strack looks to set a screen. Doesn't use it. Shot clock under 10 now. Crowd wants a defense here. Morgan drives into the lane. Going to get a reach-in foul on Joyce Edwards. Silly foul there on Joyce trying to help out. And that'll be 2 on her, I believe. Miriam Dowda will check in for her. 2:31 to play, non-shooting. Wildcats will bring it in baseline right side. They triggered into Key on the far baseline. Now back to Morgan on the right wing, trying to drive. Cut off from the baseline, pull up from 15 feet. It's an air ball, but they get the rebound on the other side, and Obi lays it up and in to make it 40-23. And that ends that 11-0 run by the Gamecocks with 2:18 to play in the second quarter. First points of the day for Jordan Obi. Work it left side to Tessa. Tessa on a big bender lately. Dowda, top of the circle, passes left to Maddie. Shot clock down to 10. Work it left side to Tessa. Shot clock down to 7. Got to do something with it. She'll drive into the lane. Shot up. It was blocked. Dowda with the rebound. Stick back is good. Miriam Dowda with her first bucket. Makes it 42-23. Gamecocks in front here. 1:40 to play in the second quarter. Left side is Boone. At the free throw line now Key. Guarded by Dowda. She'll take the 15-footer and bury it. Dowda backed off her momentarily, and it's 42-25, and Key hits the open jumper. She's got 4. Tessa Johnson driving in the lane. Finds Medina Okot driving in the lane herself, so put it up and in. Medina Okot in double figures with 10. She's also got 9 rebounds. Back to a 19-point lead at 44-25 with 1:15 to play in the second quarter. Morgan guarded by Maddie McDaniel. Passes to her right. To Carroll, guarded by Tessa in the man-to-man. Shot clock at 15, whistle away from the ball, and they're going to get Dowda for a foul. First foul on Merriam. Coach Staley doesn't like it. .105 to play, neither team in the bonus yet. Wildcats will bring it in baseline right side. That's the third foul on Carolina. Next foul on Kentucky will put Carolina in the bonus. Right side with it, Tony Morgan. Comes around a screen towards the baseline. Streaks across the baseline. Finds Carroll in the corner. Shot clock at 10. Now Obi goes underneath to Key. Puts it off the window. No good. Blew the bunny. Okot with the rebound, and she's got a double-double in the first half. 10 points and 10 rebounds for Medina Okot. Her 21st double-double of the season. 33rd of her career. Big Mama having a big first half. And Coach Staley's been screaming for a timeout, and the official wouldn't give it to her. Had to come all the way to midcourt for her to finally pay attention so they could get it. Gamecocks will have it with 40.5 seconds to go in the half, leading 44-25. Hey, parents, it's never too late or too early to talk to your 2-7 seed, the 2 and 7 seeds, and then the late game tonight. Texas, the 3 seed, takes on the 11 seed Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama, the only team left in the tournament bracket, not nationally ranked. They just dropped out of the top 25. Gamecocks will bring it in on the sideline off to our right. Again, we're across from the scorers table here on the floor. And we're back underway. 15 on the shot clock, 38 on the game clock. Raven dribbles up top. Will work as much clock as possible. Passes left to Miriam Dowda. Now left side, Maddie McDaniel on the wing. Shot clock under 10. Feed it down low, Medina Okot. Drives across the baseline, gets her man in the air, rolls it up, no good. Put it up too soft. Rebound to Kentucky. They can work for the final shot. Gamecocks lead 44-25. Morgan across the timeline, guarded by Raven. 13 seconds to play. Raven stabbing at the basketball. Under 10 now, they'll start the offense. Morgan gets a screen from Key, comes around it to her left. Fade away from the left elbow is good, and that's how the first half will end. Tessa Johnson won't be able to get a shot off. Gamecocks will settle with a 44-27 advantage as the two teams head to the locker room at halftime. 20 minutes in the books. South Carolina leading Kentucky 44-27 here at the intermission.
Points, Okot, a double-double. Dawn is with Holly Rowe.
Well, Coach Staley, the pace has been fantastic, but the pressure on defense, how those two things impacted this first half. I mean, that's who we are. I think when we play at that pace, when we can make people play a little bit faster than they want to play, it causes a little bit of disruption. And then we want to push pace, whether they make shots or miss shots. We want to get the ball down the floor. They're playing a lot of zone, so hopefully we beat the zone down the floor, get some clean looks.
How is it to have tournament Tessa reintroduce herself today?
She's mixing it up. She's not just out there shooting threes, although she's shooting them today and making them. She's getting to the free throw line. She's driving the ball to the basket. She has all that in her skill set. She fails to utilize all of them at different times of the season.
It's okay to bring it out in March, though, right?
Hey, tournament Tessa. I love it.
Thank you, Coach Staley. Thank you, Holly. 17-point South Carolina lead over Kentucky in this quarterfinal matchup. Now let's send it to the Sargento halftime report. Alyssa Lang, Steffi Sorensen, and Mike Neighbors.
I changed my name.
Maddie McDaniel, 2 for Miriam Dowda, and 1 for Allie Tornaby. So the Gamecocks with 6 bench points after they got 0 bench points against the Wildcats on Sunday. So good 20 minutes of basketball so far in the books. Let's see if the Gamecocks can put together another good 20 minutes in advance to the semifinal round tomorrow. This women's basketball postseason radio broadcast is provided by the South Carolina Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities. We'll take another timeout and come back with the start of the third quarter after this. You're listening to South Carolina Women's Basketball on the Gamecock Sports Network from Learfield. Back at Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville for the 2026 SEC Women's Basketball Tournament. Quarterfinal round, South Carolina leading Kentucky 44-27 as we get set to start the third quarter. Final at the ACC tournament, the ACC regular season champ and 13th ranked Duke Blue Devils defeated Clemson today in the quarterfinals 60-46, but Clemson with 21 wins this year will make the NCAA tournament for sure. Gamecocks in their home whites, garnet numbers trimmed in black. Kentucky Road Blues white numbers. Kentucky ball to start the third quarter, moving left to right. Original starting 5 on the floor for the Gamecocks with Johnson & Johnson, Ladson, Edwards, and Ocott. And we're getting set to start the third quarter here. The winner on to tomorrow's semifinal game. Gamecocks' largest lead was 19 at 17 now, but don't forget the Wildcats trailed by as many as 14 in the first half against the Gamecocks in Lexington last week and came back to tie the game before the Gamecocks eventually won by 4. So don't count the Wildcats out yet. Good crowd here, as always. A lot of people playing hooky from work. And we're underway here in the third quarter. Morgan across the timeline for Kentucky. Gamecocks in their man-to-man. Comes around a screen to her left. Raven stays with her. Passes back up top to Boone. Boone dribbling to her right. Cut off on the baseline. Feeds it out to Key. 15-foot jumper is good. Nice stroke there, and Kentucky will start the scoring. That cuts Carolina's lead 44-29. Wildcats have some good perimeter and mid-range shooters. Here's Tessa up top, 2-3 zone by the Wildcats. We feed it halfway down the lane to Joyce Edwards. Trying to fight through a double team. Spins to her right. Jumpers up and in. Joyce Edwards with a tough finish. She's got 11, and it's 46-29. That's a good start. Edwards in double figures after scoring only 9 against the Wildcats on Sunday. We go for the steal, don't get it. Wildcats with the basketballs. We stay in the man-to-man. Around a screen comes Boone on the pick and roll to Key, driving in the lane. Puts it up, no good. Rebound Medina Ocott, and the Gamecocks have it. Wildcats wanted a foul, not going to get it. They head to Ladson near side. Drives across the baseline, gets Strack in the air, hands it off to Joyce Edwards. Joyce will finish again. It's 48-29. What unselfishness there by Ladson. Minute gone by in the third. Gamecocks back to a 19-point lead, matching their largest lead of the afternoon. Morgan around a screen, and they're going to get Ladson for a foul coming around a screen from Strack, and that's kind of a ticky-tack foul there. Goodness, let them play. First foul on Ladson. Wildcats will bring it in on the sideline off to our right. They've led a lot more physical play for both teams. It's kind of silly when you blow the whistle on that. Haslett will trigger it in. Tessa doing jumping jacks in front of her. They get it to Key, right side. Ocott comes out on her. Now Key will put it on the floor, driving against Big Mama. Spins, shoots, doesn't bank it in. Another rebound for Big Mama. And the Gamecocks have it, leading 48-29. Ladson quickly down the floor, no look. Tessa near corner 3, bang, got it. Third three-pointer. Tournament, Tessa hits another one. She's got 15, and the Gamecocks lead 51-29, their largest lead of the afternoon with 8:20 to play in the third. Tessa was just 2 for 10 from three-point range against the Wildcats last week. She's got 3 here. Strack trying to drive in the lane. Off-balance jumper is good, and that cuts the deficit 51-31. The lead down to 20 with 8:05 to play in the third quarter. Raven Johnson, right wing, tries to drive. Finds Joyce Edwards, middle of the lane. Joyce will finish. 2 more, 53-31. More unselfish passing there. Great look by Raven to find Edwards, who didn't give up on the play. Joyce Edwards, the beneficiary of that. He's got 15 points now. 53-31 Gamecocks. Morgan right side, cut off by Raven. To the top of the circle, shot clock already at 13. Around a screen from Strack. We switch on the defense, feed it up top to Hassett. Ball fumbled around, but they recover with 5 to shoot it. Morgan whistle away from the ball, and we're going to get a foul inside on Raven with 5 on the shot clock. You hate to see that. On the switch defense, she got tangled up with Strack, and that's a tough assignment with Raven at 5'8", going against 6'5". Coach Staley doesn't like the call. Raven will pick up her first, team second. They'll bring it in baseline left side with the Wildcats. Morgan to trigger it in to Hassett left side. Now to Boone. Boone top of the circle, around a screen to her right. Feed it inside on the pick and roll, and they'll get a layup. Nicely executed there as Obi finishes that time. Cuts Carolina's lead 53-33 with 7:20 to play in the third. 2-3 zone employed by Kentucky. Latson around a screen to her right. Trying to create. Driving into the lane. Kicks it out Tessa left side. Tessa goes baseline. Pulls up from 10 feet. Rolls off the rim, no good. Rebound lost out of bounds to the Gamecocks. What lead is 20? It was 22. They'll bring it in baseline right side. Raven to do the honors as they'll get Tiani Key back in. She'll pick up Strack. And Kentucky playing their third game in 3 days. That's tough to do. How good is the SEC this year when a top 20 team is playing on day one? Medina Okot off the inbound pass. Fadeaway jumper. Rolls off the rim, no good. Had a good look, couldn't knock it down. Here come the Wildcats the other way to try to get it under 20. 3 minutes gone by in the third. Morgan drives in the lane. Had the ball knocked out of her hands. Joyce Edwards comes out of there with it. It's one-on-one the other way. Joyce will take it to the rack and finish. It's 55-33. Joyce Edwards in transition. She's got 17 points today, averaging just under 20 per game, coming off a low in SEC play of just 9 points against the Wildcats last Sunday. Gamecocks in the man-to-man. Here's Hassett right side. Looking inside, feeds it at the free throw line. Now to Key on the low block. Back up top to Obi, and she walked with it. Gamecocks will have it on the turnover. That's a dozen turnovers for Kentucky. They average under 13 turnovers per game, but they've had their problems here today. 6:28 to play in the third. Gamecocks have matched the largest lead of 22 points. Raven will get it across. Feed underneath to Medina, who's all by herself and lays it up and in, and it's 57-33. And Coach Kenny Brooks has to burn a timeout. Not sure how 6'6" Medina Okot gets that wide open, but we'll take it. 6:22 to play in the third. Gamecocks all over Kentucky, 57-33. Hey, parents, it's never too late or too early to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs, because if you're not talking to them, someone else is. Get conversation starters at openconversationsc.com. This women's basketball postseason radio broadcast proudly sponsored by the South Carolina. Up top it comes to Obi. Bounce pass to the left to Morgan around a screen. Kick it back out around the perimeter left side. Feed it inside, and stepping into the passing lane, Medina Okot with the steal. Ahead to Ladson. Ladson driving in the lane. Has her shot blocked, and they're going to call a foul on Amelia Hassett and send Ladson to the free throw line. Tanaya's only taken 2 shots today. Does have 5 assists, looking for her first points. Remember, she was sick, missed the last 2 days of practice due to an illness. Obviously a little bit weaker, but doing some other things with 5 assists. Now looking for her first scoring opportunity. The senior from Miami hits the first free throw, an 80% free throw shooter, 7th in the SEC during the regular season. Makes it 58-33. Second free throw is also good, and it's a 6-0 run by the Gamecocks to stretch the lead out further, 59-33 with 6 minutes to play in the third. Across the timeline, Morgan, guarded by Maddie McDaniel. Passes to her left to Boone, guarded by McKeer, the freshman. On the baseline now is Key on the far side. Medina trying to stab at the basketball. Back up to Boone. 3-point shot blocked by McKeer, and she gets the rebound. What a play by the freshman. Got the block and the rebound. And then we threw it away. An in-between pass to Joyce Edwards, who couldn't scoop it up and just looked kind of clumsy with it and lost it out of bounds. Only the 4th turnover today by the Gamecocks, so you can forgive it, but Dawn Staley's still not happy about it because it happened right in front of her. Now she's laughing about it because Raven must have said something funny, as Raven often does. Morgan dribbling to her left for the Wildcats, drives the baseline, cut off there, feeds it to Key up top, 18-footer, rattles out no good, and going to get a foul underneath on Tanaya Ladson. Second foul on Tanaya, who didn't like the call. Coach Staley doesn't like it either. Looked like good position. It has been difficult today. They have let a lot of contact go, which is fine, but they've called some very ticky-tack things on both teams today. Key on the inbound pass on the low block, trying to back her way in. Kicks it back out to Obi, left side. Shot clock down to 10. Hands it off to Morgan. Morgan guarded by Mouse McDaniel. Comes around a screen to her left. Shot clock at 5. Now Edwards takes her on a switch. Drives to the free throw line. Kicks it out to Key, left wing for 3, and she buries it. Tiani Key was only 1 out of 12 from 3-point range on the season, and she buries that one. Makes it 59-36. Just her second 3-ball of the year. And whistle away from the ball. We're going to get a ticky-tack foul on Kentucky here away from the basketball. Going to put that on Tiani Key, and that'll send us to a timeout. 4:55 to play in the third quarter. South Carolina leading Kentucky 59-36. And once again, folks, parents, it's never too late or too early to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs, because if you're not talking to them, there's a lot going on campus. Here, the Gamecocks hoping to play another day, hoping to advance to the semifinal round once again. Gamecocks have won 9 SEC tournaments in the last 11 years and then won it 3 years in a row, trying to get to tomorrow's semifinal against the winner of the later game today between Oklahoma and LSU, the 4 or 5 seed. Gamecocks trailed early 3-0, but not since. Kentucky in blue, Gamecocks in white. On the floor for Carolina, Maddie McDaniel, Agat McKeer, Raven Johnson, Miriam Dowda, and Medina Okot. It'll be Carolina ball. We'll bring it in baseline right side. Raven Johnson to trigger it in. 4:55 to play in the third. Get it into Medina on the far baseline, trying to create, driving on the baseline on Keys, too far into the basket, reverse layup won't go. Fight for the rebound, Wildcats come out of there with it. Medina found herself too far into the basket once again, couldn't finish. Wildcats with the basketball, kick it out left side, up top to Key, guarded by Medina, stabs at the basketball. Wildcats recover after she poked it free, driving right side, kick it back out to Key, shot clock at 13, up fake, drives, ball knocked out of her hands by Agat McKeer into the baseline out of bounds. It'll remain with Kentucky, but a good defensive play on the help defense. 11 on the shot clock. Kentucky will have it. They'll bring it in to the left of the basket. Morgan to trigger it in. Get it in right side to Strack. Strack, 10 to shoot it. Picks up the dribble, needs help, and threw it away. Somebody zigged when they should have zagged. And it's another turnover for the Wildcats. That's 14 turnovers here today. It'll be Carolina ball. 4:25 to play in the third. Maddie McDaniel will bring it up. She'll signal the play. Wildcats man-to-man this trip. We've seen a lot of zone from them today as well. Near side, Agat McKeer just in front of us. McKeer around a screen. Spots up for three. Back rimmed it no good. Strack with the rebound for Kentucky. Boxing out Medina Okot. Still 59-36 Gamecocks. Here come the Wildcats the other way. Strack open look at a three right side, and she buries another one. She hit 5 of those yesterday, and Strack gets her first three-pointer today, puts her in double figures with 11 points, makes it 59-39. The lead is trimmed to 20 with 3:50 to play in the third. Raven around a screen to her right, trying to drive across the baseline, and she's going to be fouled by Strack. Strack will collect her first foul. Non-shooting. Gamecocks will have it with 3:45 to play. Kentucky on a little 6-0 run here with a couple of three-pointers. Raven will bring it in baseline left side. Gets it into Medina. Now back to Raven in the corner. Raven on the dribble to the top of the circle. Had the ball knocked away from her. Ball's loose. Maddie McDaniel picks it up, and the Gamecocks have it after it looked like Kentucky had a turnover. Maddie will drive in the lane. Floats it up and in. Maddie McDaniel with a tough finish makes it 61-39 Gamecocks. So 3.5 minutes to play in the third. Gamecocks scored only 60 in the entire game against the Wildcats on Sunday. They've got 61 here with 3:20 to play in the third. They kick it out right side. Three ball away by Carroll, won't go down. Long rebound, Cairns out to the Wildcats. Morgan, top of the circle. Guarded by Raven Johnson. Gets a screen, comes around it to her right. Dowda takes her on the switch. Morgan loops it up and in. She's fouled. Count the basket. Chance for a three-point play. Dowda never got her feet set defensively, and a three-point opportunity for the Wildcats. Trying to cut the deficit under 20 now at 61-41. Gamecocks led by as many as 26. And Wildcats getting on a little bit of a run here. At the free throw line, Morgan for the and one, a 73% free throw shooter. 1 out of 2 today, has 7 points. Follow-up free throw, no good. Rebound, Agat McKeer, and the Gamecocks have it, leading by 20. Underneath to Maddie McDaniel, drives the baseline, missed the layup underneath the basket. She was all by herself. The pressure came late, and she blows the layup. Here comes Kentucky the other way. They go underneath, and Raven blocks the layup underneath the basket. Medina Okot picks up the loose board. Big Mama going coast to coast and had the ball knocked out of her hands, out of bounds. And they say she touched it last. It'll be Kentucky ball. Big Mama trying to go 94 feet, couldn't do it. That would have been a highlight reel. She's going to come out now after that sprint. Joyce Edwards will come in for her. Still a 20-point lead at 61-41 with 2:44 to play. Had Maddie miss a layup on this side, and then Raven blocked a layup on the other side. And then Medina a little out of control in transition. Kentucky with the basketball. They feed it left side. 3-ball away and in and out, no good for Carroll. Rebound got McKeer. She's done a good job under the glass today. The freshman for the Gamecocks with her third rebound. 2:25 to play in the third quarter. Still a 20-point cushion. Gamecocks haven't scored in a while, however. McKeer picks up the dribble, gets it between the rings to Raven. Raven gets a screen, pulls up, no, goes down low to Joyce Edwards in transition, puts it up, no good, but they're going to get a foul underneath on the Wildcats. I'm going to say before the shot by Joyce, I believe. Fourth team foul on the Wildcats, last to give before the bonus. And it'll be Carolina ball, trying to increase their 20-point lead. Late sub, Keone Key back in. She'll pick up Lexi Blue, the sophomore from Orlando, Florida, who was only in there for a minute. Raven will bring it in baseline right side, and the entry pass was knocked out of bounds by Boone. We'll do it again. They're trying to sneak in along the other side of the baseline. Raven to trigger it in again. Gets it into Joyce. Now back to Raven. No, Joyce keeps it on the baseline. Spins, fights through a double team, and she's fouled on the way up by Kaylin Carroll, the freshman from Dedham, Massachusetts. And that'll put Carolina at the line. Gamecocks 10 out of 14 from the free throw line for 71%. Edwards 17 points today. She's 3 out of 4. Joyce earned first team All-SEC honors this year for the second straight year. One of 5 Gamecocks to earn postseason honors. Joyce hits the first one to make it 62-41. Raven Johnson named Defensive Player of the Year, and she was on the second team All-SEC along with Tanaya Ladson, Tessa Johnson, and Medina Okot. Second free throw, good as well. The Gamecocks lead 63-41. Joyce with 19 points today. 10 more than she had against the Wildcats last Sunday. 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Gamecocks with a 22-point lead. Boone up top for Kentucky, guarded by Raven. Trying to back her way in, hands it off to Carroll up top. Passes to her left to Key. Passes to her left, driving into the lane is Obi. Cut off there, 15-foot jumper is good. Fade away is good. These Wildcats can shoot it. Even on 3 games in 3 days, the lead cut to 20 at 63-43 with 1:40 to play in the third. Here's Raven left side. Comes around a screen to the top of the circle. Feeds it right side to Joyce Edwards. Now McKeer right wing in front of the Carolina bench. Shot clock halfway down to Joyce Edwards on the pick and roll. Floaters up, no good. Rebound to the Wildcats, and they want to run. Chance to cut it under 20 for Kentucky. Boone driving across the baseline. Zips it in the near corner to Carroll. Back up top it comes to Gilvin. Gilvin, the Louisville native, feeds it inside to Key on the pick and roll. Puts it up, no good. Rebound, Cairns around to Raven Johnson, and the Gamecocks have it. Outlet to Joyce Edwards in transition. She'll lay it up and in, and the Gamecocks lead 65-43. That's how you do it. Joyce Edwards with 21 points, her 19th 20-point game of the season. Under a minute to play in the third. 3-ball right side by Carroll won't go down. Rebound to Maddie McDaniel, and the Gamecocks have it. Gamecocks have been killing it in transition today, something they did not do against Kentucky in Lexington, and a 4-point win. Work it right side to McKeer. Edwards on the baseline now. 17 to shoot it. Dowda left side. She'll take a 3. Bang! Got it. 3-pointer Miriam Dowda. Just her 4th of the year, and the Gamecocks lead 68-43, and the crowd going nuts. 25 seconds to play in the third quarter. All Carolina here. Obi up top. Gamecocks have hit 5 3-pointers today. Boone bounce pass to the left to Carroll. 13 to shoot it for Key, driving in the lane on Dowda, and she's fouled by Dowda, and will go to the line for a pair. That'll allow us to get Ali Tornabes back in, the freshman from France. They'll get Lexi Blue in for the Wildcats as well. She'll pick up Gilvin. So Joyce goes out. She'll exit with 21 points. Another good afternoon for Joyce Edwards. 14.6 seconds to play in the third quarter. Keone Key at the free throw line. The 6'5 senior from Cary, North Carolina. Second year at Kentucky after 2 at North Carolina, hits the first free throw. And that gives her 10 points, her first free throw attempt of the afternoon. She hits them both, and Carolina's lead is trimmed. 68-45. 12 seconds to play in the third. Gamecocks can work for the final shot, and that's what they'll do. Raven Johnson comes around a screen from Alley. On the pick and roll to Alley, but the pass was too strong by Raven, and that's how the third quarter will end. 68-45, Gamecocks lead. 30 minutes in the books. 10 minutes to go to see who's heading to the semifinal round here in Greenville. Parents, it's never too late or too early to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs, because if you're not talking to them, someone else is. Get conversation starters at openconversationsc.com. This women's basketball postseason radio brought 11. Wildcats shooting 42% from the floor, 18 out of 43. They've hit 5 out of 14 from distance for 36% in the contest. Gamecocks in white, Kentucky in blue. Gamecocks will start the fourth quarter with Maddie McDaniel, Tania Ladson, Agat McKeer, Allie Tornabes, and Miriam Dowda. Thought we were going to get Isla McDowell in during that timeout, but she did not check in. She's the only healthy Gamecock that hasn't played today. Gamecocks with the ball moving right to left. We're underway. There's Ladson left side on the dribble. Tania top of the circle, 2-3 zone by Kentucky. Work it right side to McKeer. Up top, Allie Tornabes. Near side again to Ladson. Around a screen. Strack takes her on the switch. Feeds Tornabes outside of the lane. Knifing her way in. And she's going to be fouled underneath if she's knocked to the floor. Freshman playing in her first postseason action. First foul of the fourth quarter, obviously, on Kentucky. Non-shooting will bring it in baseline left side. McDaniel will bring it in for Carolina. Got to get everybody moving first. Get it into Ladson on the baseline. Tries to drive. Pull-up jumper is in. She's fouled. Count the basket. Chance for a three-point play. And the Gamecocks lead 70-45. Ladson with 4 points to go along with 5 assists. And she'll be at the line for the and one. Ladson 2 for 2 from the stripe today. 80% on the year. That's 7th in the SEC through the regular season. Follow-up free throw is good. And Gamecocks match their largest lead, 71-45. Just underway here in the fourth quarter. Wildcats quickly across the timeline. They run their weave up top. Gamecocks stay in the man-to-man. Here's Strack left side. Top of the circle to Key. Work it right side to Morgan. Now to Strack on the baseline. Dowda comes out on her. Zip it inside. Whistle away from the ball. And traveling call. Gamecocks have done a good job of putting a lot of pressure on Strack, who had tied her career high with 33 points yesterday and had over 20 points in the first game. Again, Kentucky playing 3 games in 3 days. Legs might be a little tired. Gamecocks with a 26-point lead, looking for more. Here's Tornabes right side. Passes to her right to McKeer. McKeer around a screen from Allie. On the pick and roll to Allie on the baseline. Allie with 15 to shoot it. Needs help. Back up top to Maddie. Man-to-man defense. Maddie around a screen to her left. Shot clock under 10. And she walked with it. Planted the feet and then got tied up. That's just the 8th turnover by the Gamecocks today. Minute gone by here in the fourth. Gamecocks lead 71-45. It'll be Kentucky ball off the turnover. Wildcats will bring it up. Morgan, started by McDaniel. Gamecocks stay in the man-to-man. They run their weave up top. Here's Boone. Passes to her left to Strack. Top of the circle, back to Strack left side. Feed it inside, and they threw it away. And ball was tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Gamecock, unfortunately. Or no, last touch by Kentucky. Thought one of the Gamecocks touched it. Gamecocks will have it. 8:44 to play in the contest. 16 turnovers now by Kentucky. They're well over their season average, under 13 per game. Ladson, top of the circle. Thought about the three, doesn't pull the trigger. Dribbling to her right instead. Strack takes her on the switch. Off-balance jumper is well short, and that's a tough chance there for Ladson going against the big 6'5 center. Here's Morgan the other way. Drives in the lane. Feeds it underneath on the near corner. 3-ball away is good by Hassett. Amelia Hassett with her third three-pointer of the day makes it 71-48. She had 6 on the opening day of this tournament. She can fill it up. 5th in the SEC in three-pointers made coming into the afternoon. Here's Ladson. Passes left to Tornabes. She wants 3. Back-rimmed it no good. Had a good look. Couldn't knock it down. Here come the Wildcats the other way. 8 minutes to play. They feed it far corner. Stolen away by Agat McKeer. McKeer looking down the floor. She brings it across. Hands it back to Dowda up top. Now to McKeer left side. Dowda had an open look at a 3. Didn't take it after hitting one earlier. McKeer, top of the circle. Passes left to Ladson. Ladson trying to drive on Hassett into the lane. Almost falls down. Ball knocked out of her hands. Dowda recovers. McDaniel, 10 to shoot it. Drives in the lane. Oh, and she's hacked on the way up by either Strack or Hassett. It'll be Carolina ball. With 7:37 to play, they're going to get Strack on that one, her third. Clara Strack, one of those players that's a lot of fun to watch when she's not playing your team because she can fill it up. She'll come out now for Kaylin Carroll. And we'll send Maddie McDaniel to the free throw line. Maddie Mouse 5 points today, 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. 74% at the line during the regular season. First free throw is good, makes it 72-48. One more time for Mouse. Got it. That one as well. 73-48 Gamecocks with 7:35 to play here in Greenville. Morgan across the timeline, guarded by Maddie. Wildcats not in a rush here. Wildcats trying to play for a top 16 seed in the NCAA tournament. Hassett, 3-ball left side, got it again. Hassett hits her 4th of the afternoon. She's 4 for 4, give her a dozen points, and it's 73-51. Timeout on the floor with 7:22 to play in the contest. Timeout taken by Kenny Brooks, so we'll step aside as well. This women's basketball postseason broadcast proudly sponsored by the South Carolina, with the score being what it is. Medina Okot, 12 points, 13 rebounds. Tessa Johnson, 15 points. Amelia Hassett for Kentucky has had a tremendous tournament. 12 points today, 4 for 4 from three-point range. She hit 6 three-pointers in their first-round win. She leads them with a dozen. Tiani Key has 11. And Clara Strack also with 11, coming off 33 points yesterday for Strack and 23 points the day before. Isla McDowell's checked in for the first time today for the Gamecocks, the freshman from Cypress Springs, Texas, averaging just under 5 points per game. She joins Maddie McDaniel, Agat McKeer, Tanaya Ladson, and Allie Tornabys. So everybody's played that's healthy. McKeer drives across the baseline. Reverse layup is good. What a finish there by McKeer. And it's 75-51. Gamecocks have made some tough layups today. And McKeer with a nice finish there for her first bucket. 7 minutes to play here in Greenville. Wildcats with the ball. Boone up top. She wants 3. Got it. Makes it 75-54. Asia Boone, second in the SEC in three-pointers made in the regular season. Hits another one here. Her second of the day. It's their 88 on the year. We go underneath the basket, and Tanaya Ladson will lay it up and in. And it's 77-54. Ladson with 7 points today. 6:35 to play in this one. Teams trading buckets here the last couple of minutes. Wildcats work it left side to Boone, who hit that 3 a moment ago. Comes around a screen to her right. Pulls up from 16 feet. Missed it short. They get the rebound underneath. Key spinning, shooting, and scoring. Makes it 77-56. Tornabys couldn't box her out. Maddie McDaniel gets it across right side to Ladson. Ladson on the right wing in front of the Carolina bench. Tries to go baseline. Finds McKeer driving in the lane. 2 more for Agat McKeer. What a look by Ladson. And it's 79-56. 6 assists now for Tanaya Ladson. Under 6 minutes to play in this one. Driving in the lane. Morgan, ball knocked out of her hands. Oh, they're going to get a reach-in foul on Isla. Must have got some skin. I thought she got all ball, and so did Isla McDowell. No, they're going to put that on Maddie McDaniel. All right, so McDaniel whistled for the foul. Non-shooting, so the Wildcats will bring it in to the right of the basket. A couple of subs come in for them. Morgan will bring it in baseline right side. Feed it in to Obi, get it back to Morgan right side. Now up top, Hassett can't pull the trigger on the 3. Shot clock at 13. Morgan top of the circle. McKeer picks her up. Shot clock down to 10. Gamecocks stay in the man-to-man. Morgan around a screen to her right. Back to Hassett left side. 4 to shoot it. Hands it to her left. Feed it at the free throw line. Obi jumper to beat the buzzer. Rattles out no good. Rebound Maddie McDaniel, and the Gamecocks have it, leading 79-56 with 5:28 to play in the game. McDaniel dribbling to her right towards the Carolina bench. Trying to drive. Gets it out to McKeer on the wing. She'll drive again. Floater up in the lane. Good. 6 straight points for Agat McKeer. That was a tough finish as well. And the Gamecocks lead 81-56. We're midway through the fourth quarter here. All Carolina here today against what's got to be a tired Kentucky team playing their 3rd game in 3 days. They work it left side to Obi, guarded by Tornabys. Comes around a screen, feeds it across the lane to her right. Shot clock down to 12. Now Morgan on the dribble drive into the lane. It opens for her, and she gets a layup. It's 81-58. Morgan with 9 points. 4:50 to play in the fourth quarter. Just trading buckets here in the fourth. Not a whole lot of defense. Feed it to Tornabys on the far baseline. Pull-up jumper, rolls off the rim, no good. And rebound to the Wildcats, 81-58 Gamecocks. Just 4:35 to play. Morgan across the timeline, guarded by McKeer. Hands it off to Hassett, pulls the trigger on another 3, and she's 5 for 5. My goodness. Hassett with 15 points cuts Carolina's lead to 20 at 81-61. She is filling it up from three-point range. 6 the first day, and on day 3, she's 5 for 5. Her legs aren't tired. Near side it comes to Ladson. 4:13 to play. Ladson trying to create. Drives, gets her man in the air, puts it up and in. She's fouled. Count the basket. Chance for a three-point play. And Tania Ladson with a chance to get into double figures. She's got 9 now to go along with 6 assists. We want Miriam Dowda into the contest. She'll pick up Maddie McDaniel. McDaniel exits with 7 points and 5 rebounds for Mouse, the smallest one on the floor. And here's Ladson at the line. Follow-up free throw after the made bucket is no good. A rare miss for Ladson. She's stuck on 9 points. 4:05 to play in the contest. Kentucky with the basketball, moving left to right. Up top to Boone, comes around a screen, passes left to Carroll, gets her man in the air, drives, bounce pass knocked away by Dowda, but they recover in the lane, and there's a Gamecock down on the floor. Layup no good, and a rebound to the Gamecocks, and Agat McKeer is down on the floor. And let's hope she's all right. Gamecocks have had so much trouble with injuries, and McKeer just on her back, and we need to get an athletic trainer out there in a hurry. Gamecocks have had so many injury problems this year, only 6 games all year where they've had the whole roster from start to finish. McKeer trying to walk it off. She's very slightly built, as you know. Initially she was holding her knee, but she's going to try to walk it off. No Adele Tack today. McKeer wants to stay in there for the moment, but she's still limping pretty badly. No surprise she's in there. She's going to bring the ball up the floor. Up top to Tornabese. Passes left to McDowell, the freshman. A lot of contact, no foul there. Between the rings to Ladson. 3.5 minutes to play. Gamecocks lead by 22. Ladson, stop and go dribble. Around a screen from Dowda and lost the handle. Ball knocked out of her hands. Wildcats come out of there with it. It's Hassett. Finds Boone right wing. Gets her man in the air. Steps back into a three-pointer. Got it. Boone with another three-pointer. Her third of the game. 10th three-pointer for the Wildcats. Makes it 83-64. First time it's been under 20 in a while. Second time in 3 games the Wildcats have hit 10 three-pointers in this tournament after doing that in the opener on Wednesday. The lead is down to 19, but just 3:05 to play. Wildcats filling it up from three-point range here late. McKeer, bad knee and all, puts it up, no good. And they're going to get an offensive foul on the Gamecocks. Are you kidding me? You're going to put that one on Miriam Dowda for an illegal screen. Gamecock faithful don't like it. 3 minutes to play, it's 83-64, as close as this game has been in a while. These Gamecocks have led by as many as 26. Wildcats with it. Left side is Carroll. Passes to Hassett, who's been deadly from three-point range. Feeds it in the far corner to Obi. Shot clock halfway down. Obi trying to back Dowda down. Spins, shoots, doesn't score. Dowda with a flat-footed rebound, and the Gamecocks have it. Gets it off to Agat McKeer. Gamecocks lead is 19, just 2:35 to play in this one. Gamecocks looking for their 9th 30-win season under Coach Dawn Staley. McKeer spins in the lane, had the ball knocked out of her hand, however. Turnover gives it back to the Wildcats. Ahead to Gilpin, driving in the lane, pull-up jumper, back on the rim, no good. Another rebound, Miriam Dowda, and the Gamecocks have it. It's gotten sloppy here. We'll find Ladson underneath the basket, gets her man up in the air, and she's fouled on the way up, and we'll go to the line. Couldn't get the and one, but Ladson, chance to get in double figures here. She's got 9 points, 3 out of 4 from the free throw line, and she'll get 2 cracks at it here. Gamecocks in the bonus here with 2:16 to play. Looking for their 7th straight win against the Wildcats. Their last loss to Kentucky was the buzzer beater here at the SEC Tournament Championship in 2023. Or 2022, I should say. Ladson at the stripe. First one is good. She's in double figures with 10. Makes it 84-64. One more time for Lat. Got them both. 85-64 Gamecocks. Wildcats will bring it up. Final couple possessions and a foul on McKeer as Boone was crossing midcourt. McKeer bumped into her. Was trying to get the offensive foul. Not going to get it. 2:11 to play. Kind of a silly foul there, but Wildcats will go to their bench. Lexi Blue back in. The sophomore from Orlando will pick up Hassett, who had a great tournament. Finishes with 15 points today, 5-5 from three-point range after hitting 6 on the first day. She has had a tremendous day, tremendous week shooting the basketball for Kentucky. Boone around a screen to her left, pulls up from 17 feet, missed it short. Rebound off the Wildcats out of bounds. It'll be Carolina ball. Exactly 2 minutes to play. Gamecocks only trailed early 3-0. Went on a first quarter run, never looked back. Led 44-27 at the intermission. And it's kept it at about a 20 or more point lead ever since. Ladson trying to feed Tornabese, and she's fouled on the right elbow by Jordan Obi. And that'll send Allie Tornabese to the line. She's got 1 point today, 1 out of 2 from the stripe. The freshman from France will get an opportunity for more. Obi picks up the foul. That is 3 on her. Tornabese missed the first one. Allie, normally a very good free throw shooter. She's missed twice today, 1 out of 3. Second free throw, again she misses. My goodness. Rebound to Kentucky, 1:45 to play. Still 85-64 Gamecocks. Got to lock in at the line no matter what the score is. Wildcats with the basketball. Final 100 seconds here. Boone left side, guarded by McKeer. Comes off another screen to her right, and then McKeer steals it away as they tried to free up a three-point shooter on the pick and roll. And Agatha McKeer obviously watched yesterday's game against Georgia, where Kentucky lived on that all day. Dowda up top. Feeds it right side to Ladson. Ladson trying to create, drives, feeds underneath to Tornabese. Turnaround jumper, no good, but she's fouled and will go to the line. Allie frustrated that she couldn't finish. Now let's see if she can make some free throws. Tornabese normally a good free throw shooter, but just 1 out of 4 today. But she'll get 2 more cracks at it with just 1:14 to play in this one. Native of France, came to the Gamecocks in January. Hits the first one. That looked like a regular smooth stroke. Makes it 86-64. One more time for Allie. Got them both. 87-64 Gamecocks with 1:14 to play in Greenville. Gamecocks will be in the semifinals tomorrow at 4:30 to take on the winner of LSU Oklahoma. Wildcats get Boone up top. She'll square up for 3. Back rimmed it, no good. Fight for the rebound. It's Agatha McKeer with another board. And the Gamecocks have it with 1 minute to play. Crowd on their feet here. A lot of Garnet and Black faithful, as you might imagine, here in Greenville. They're on their feet for this final minute of action to see their team make it to the semifinals once again. Gamecocks have won 9 of the last 11 SEC tournaments and 3 in a row. Here's McDowell up top. Look at left side to Dowda. Shot clock down to 7. Now McDowell picks up the dribble. 4 seconds to shoot it. Almost a half-court shot from McKeer. It won't bank in. She tried to beat the shot clock. Rebound to Kentucky. We try to tie it up. They're going to call a held ball. Possession to the Wildcats with 28 seconds to play. They tried to get McDowell open for a shot. She's the only Gamecock who hasn't scored today. The Wildcats will have it perhaps for the last possession of the game. Gamecocks will improve to 30-2 on the season. Kentucky will drop to 23-10, but surely they have done enough, hopefully, for Kentucky's sake, to earn a chance to host the first and second round of the NCAA tournament after 2 wins here this week. Boone left side, 13 on the shot clock. The Gamecocks cheer has started. Gamecocks are headed to the semifinals once again. I'm going to get a reach-in foul on Miriam Dowda, kind of unnecessary, and it'll prolong the agony here for Kentucky with 7.1 seconds to play. And Miriam Dowda has fouled out of the game with 5 points. So Miriam gets to make a curtain call, and Joyce Edwards will have to come back in. Again, no Adele Tack today. So Miriam gets to get a curtain call after she fouls out. Carroll will trigger it in, 7.1 seconds to play, gets it into Boone. And see if Kentucky decides to shoot it. Boone dribbling left on Tornabese. Shot blocked, and that'll end the game. Gamecocks knock off Kentucky here in the quarterfinals, 87-64, the 9th 30-point, 30-win season under Coach Dawn Staley. And the Gamecocks advance to knock off the Wildcats once again here in Greenville. 87-64 our final. We'll take a timeout. We start our wrap-up after this. You're listening to South Carolina Women's Basketball on the Gamecock Sports Network from their field.
Every South Carolina starter shot at 50% or better in this game. And South Carolina will meet the winner of LSU Oklahoma. That semifinal game tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern on ESPN 2. LSU Oklahoma coming up next right here on ESPN. 11 points, 6 assists from Tanaya Latson. Joyce Edwards with 21 on 8 of 12 shooting. Tessa Johnson with 15. Joyce is with Holly Rowe.
Well, Joyce, you had the toughest assignment today. Have to come out here and guard Clara Strack. How were you able to really set a tone early? You were all over the court defensively.
I mean, we knew she's one of our go-to players. I mean, obviously she's a great player, but after playing 3 games, you know, her legs a little dead. That helped me out a little bit, but just getting in her body. You know, she likes to shoot her mid-range, shoot her 3, so just making her put the ball on the ground.
Speaking of scoring, you were able to really shine today. You didn't score well Sunday against Kentucky. What was different for you today?
Just running. I got out and ran in transition. We love to do that. We love to getting out, and I just got me some easy baskets.
What is it like to play in front of this crowd? I mean, this is a Friday, day 1 for you at the SEC tournament. What does this help you do?
I mean, it's great. We love our fans. Obviously, they're a big momentum for us. They help us so much. And, yeah, we just love them.
All right. Thank you, Joyce.
No problem. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful performance from Joyce Edwards, South Carolina, an 87-64 win over Kentucky. For producer Kerry Callahan, director Jimmy Platt, Deke Cantner, Holly Rowe, and the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. I'm Ryan Rucco. Get it to the studio in a moment, and then we'll have Oklahoma LSU here from Greenville. But for now, let's send it over to the studio.
Thanks, Ryan, as we welcome you to College Basketball Live Scoreboard presented by Open Door. What a opening win for South Carolina in front of thousands of garnet and black clad fans here at the Well in Greenville, South Carolina. I got my squad up here to talk about it. Of course, you've got 3 more games coming your way here this afternoon at the SEC tournament. Mike Neighbors, Nell Fortner, Steffi Sorensen, Alyssa Lang, Tessa Johnson is going to be sitting in that chair in just a moment. Steffi, what impressed you the most about the way South Carolina was able to come out here, fast start, double-digit win?
Dominance. And I'll make a little bit of a weather reference if I can. I think about South Carolina, and it's like a storm. And you think about the Thunder. You hear the Thunder first, you know something's coming. That's their defense, okay? Then the lightning happens. That's their offense. And the perfect storm is this crowd, the rain afterwards. All that perfect storm, I thought we saw it all today.
Yeah. Let's talk about it with Tessa Johnson, who joins us now on the set. Tessa, I mean, the roar from the fams who are here watching y'all on a Friday in the middle of the day, game 1 of the SEC tournament. What is it like to have this environment here?
It's crazy. They're loyal. They've been loyal from the jump. No matter what you do, they're always supporting us, and you can see it here right now.
I mean, I've got earbuds in, and still when they get going, it's still so incredibly loud. Look, we can talk about push and pace, how good y'all were in transition today. Started on the defensive end. What was that message in the locker room going out? Was that a big part of who y'all wanted to be today?
Yes, and I think it was more so the game that we had against them before. We weren't as locked in as defense, like connectivity together, and I think that's what we showed out here.
For us people that aren't shooters, can you walk us through what it feels like when a crowd rises to their feet expecting you to make every shot when you catch it? Can you take, I don't understand what that feels like.
I mean, it's a little bit of pressure, but
a lot.
It's good. It feels good. And I mean, the fact that they think that I'm able to make it, it like gives me a little more confidence too.
Did it feel good, Tessa, to get back on track and just maybe see the ball go through the hoop? And I'm wondering too, also, have you been getting shots up with Medina? Because y'all look the same out there.
Yeah, no, she's always been able to shoot. I don't know why she started towards the end of the season, but she's here now.
Tessa, we've asked the question a lot. I'm not going to ask who can guard Tessa Johnson, but I'm going to ask if you've seen the rap, the song that the fans have.
Yeah, a little bit of it.
You know. If you know, you know. When you think about how much you've grown as a scorer, as a veteran on this team, back to your very first trip here, what comes to mind when you think about your maturation?
I would say like my role, but like I feel like I've always wanted to just be consistent for my teammates, them being able to know exactly what I'm trying to do out there. But no, I'm proud of all my teammates today. I think the defensive end really impressed me, and that showed up on offensive end.
Saw a block shot at the buzzer. Yeah, the defense from Alicia.
Tessa, how do you guys stay grounded?
I would say just keeping. I think we're just used to it, kind of. Not in no bad way or anything like that, but I think we're used to it, and we're always able to hold each other accountable, but being able to get on each other, but without taking it personally.
Let me ask you, playing with Joyce Edwards, sometimes I can't believe she's just a sophomore.
I know.
But sometimes she'll take a back seat and let everybody shine, and then all of a sudden she'll take over. Today it looked like from the jump she was ready to just take over. How did you feel about her game today?
Good. She's been playing well defensively, offensively, being able to see the floor. Like, that's what we need from her, and that's what we expect from her. And I think she's being, like, the consistency that I was talking about earlier, like, again, that's literally what we expect from her. And her being aggressive is going to open it up for all of us and herself.
I look at Coach Staley as a Jedi master. The ability to bring in great players, identify a role with you, and then reward you for fulfilling that role. Is she a Jedi?
I don't know what a Jedi is.
I knew she wouldn't know what a Jedi is.
Neighbors?
It's a master. It's a Star Wars reference.
Yes.
She's a master at getting y'all to accept your role and then go out and fulfill it and then be able to reward you for doing your job.
Yeah, I think that is because she really connects with us personally, like off the court. Like, it's all about off the court. We're not just players to her. And you can really see that, like, coaching-wise. Everyone is able to trust her. So no matter what she says, and we know that she loves her. So even if it's like a hard type of love, like, we know where it's really coming from.
Can I just say, if Dawn had a lightsaber, it would be Louis Vuitton.
It would be a Louis Vuitton lightsaber.
Tessa, before we let you go, I want to give you an opportunity to give Raven some flowers. Defensive Player of the Year, she comes back to finish the job again this season. When she's out there, what do we not see? What makes her so important to this team that we don't see that's happening behind the scenes?
What makes her so important? That she can be herself. She's able to lead. She's able to lead us no matter if she's having, like, a hard time. Like, she can do everything out there for us, for herself. Like, it's all about others for her.
Yeah, it's always been that way, right? But she continues to take that step forward year after year. Tessa, congratulations. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Thank you.
South Carolina for a 7th consecutive season will play in the semifinals on Saturday here at the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament. The fans are in the house. They always are here in Greenville. If you can hear the roar as Tessa is walking off the set,